Welcome to the Bourbon Jerk. Thanks for the click. Welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a minute since I did a blind video, and this is one that I've kind of had in the back of my mind for a bit. Calling this one my Ultimate Wild Turkey Blind, and here's what I've got in it. First, I've got a sample of the Russell's Reserve 15 year. Now, this was the consensus bourbon of the year for 2024. If you happen to watch 10 best of lists, this one's probably at the top of 7 or 8 of them. By all accounts, this was the cream of the crop, not just from Wild Turkey in 2024, but arguably from the entire field. So obviously it's got the 15-year age statement, and it comes in at 117.2 proof. You'd think this is probably the favorite to win the blind. Next, I've got my Russell's Reserve 13 from 2023, which I believe was my number 2 or number 3 bourbon of the year for 2023. Just a fantastic bourbon. I'm really curious to see how this one stacks up against the 15. It comes in at 114.8 proof, just a smidge less than the 15. So again, curious to see how this shakes out head to head with that one. Third, I've got the Wild Turkey Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary 8 year. This bourbon consists of 8 and 9 year barrels that were handpicked by Jimmy himself. And this one did find its way onto my top 10 whiskeys of the year for 2024. It drinks, in my opinion, a little older. It's got like a dusty-ish note. And it's just like the Wild Turkey 101 on steroids. I just love this. The wild card here may be this Russell's 10-year LLME bottling that got a lot of hype late last year. And the buzz around it is that it may contain some of the leftovers from the Russell's Reserve 15-year bottle. If you want to read a little bit more about this so you know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link to Rare Bird's write-up about it here in the description below. I've not tried this yet, but my buddy who gave me this sample says that he just may prefer it to the Russell's Reserve 15. I'm a little skeptical to see how this 90 proofer could possibly hang with these big hitters here, but we'll see. Rounding out the flight is going to be good old Rare Breed. This is a bottle from last year. Comes in at 116.8 proof, non-age stated, but they say it's a blend of 6, 8, and 12-year-old bourbons. Just a staple on my shelf. We can call this our control whiskey. Also, this does tend to do pretty well in blind, so who knows where it'll end up here tonight. Before we pour these, do me a favor. If you like this type of content, go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And check out the Circle of Jerks. That's the Bourbon Jerk Patreon group. We're going to give away a bottle every month in 2025. So consider joining. We'll put the link in the description below. All right, Ty's going to pour these for me, mix them up, and I'll be right back. So here we go. We got A through E. I'll go through these one at a time in order, make some notes, kind of rank them in my head, and then kind of come back and rank them 1st through 5th, see which one comes out on top. A, and you know, just kind of looking at these, they all pretty much look the same in terms of color. Maybe E is a little lighter than the rest, but not a whole lot of variance here. On the nose, I get like that traditional Wild Turkey cherry note, maybe a bit of oak, a little bit of that funk. All right, let's get into it. All right, so it's definitely cherry and oak. Second sip, more funk, maybe like liquid caramel, like a thick, viscous caramel note. Not a huge finish on this one. So A, thinking kind of lower proof, we'll say thick caramel and traditional turkey notes. A little bit of wada. Get into B. It's definitely bolder on the nose, a little bit more of that ethanol kick. It smells more condensed, more concentrated. Yeah, real nice nose on this one. Yeah, that one brings the heat quite a bit more than A. That's kind of like a cherry cobbler or a cherry pie. Thicker mouthfeel than the first one, bigger finish. So far, I'm thinking in my head, I like B a little bit better than A, but both are really good. So B, I'm gonna say bigger, bolder, hotter, cherry cobbler, cherry pie. All right, so C. Okay, now C is a little bit more subtle on the nose, like that Wild Turkey funk and that dark cherry, black cherry medicinal note, but it's a bit more dialed back, less concentrated than B. Let's give it a sip. Now that one feels more balanced, more well-rounded. It's real soft around the edges. Packed with flavor. This is outstanding. I really like C. B might be a little bit bolder, but C feels more well integrated. Finish is maybe not quite as hot as B. So C will say more balanced, more refined. Yeah, this is real nice. C's probably the leader in the clubhouse right now. All right, let's get on to D. A little lighter than B and C. Nose is similar to B, I would say. Somewhere in between B and C. It's not quite as bold as B, but not quite as dialed back as C. Yeah, this just feels like that traditional wild turkey funk, cherry. I'm thinking this might be the rare breed because this feels really familiar. And I'll bottle guess these when I go back one more time. See how I do, but this is hitting me like rare breed. D, I'm just writing down rare breed vibes. Familiar. E, let's see what we got. Okay, now this one is more vanilla. Probably the most subtle in terms of nose. I'm wondering if it's because it's the lowest proof. That cherry note is there. It's just buried. It's a little harder to find on this one. I do like this one quite a bit on the palate. Like the nose was making me feel like this is really kind of more reserved than the rest, where the rest had that trademark, wild turkey bold note. This is a little bit more refined, but the palate is a little less so than the nose. I mean, the nose was really reserved. The palate does bring the flavor. Finish isn't too big. But yeah, that's really nice. So E, I'm going to say subtle nose, less subtle on the palate, great flavor. Maybe a little lower proof, but excellent. I'm going to go through these one more time. Maybe kind of finalize my rankings here. I'll give you a bottle guess for each one of these. See if I can get any of them right. Back to A. A is really good. In terms of a guess, I'm thinking that this one is the 70th, the Jimmy 70. Right, back to B. Yeah, B. I said it was bigger, bolder, and hotter than A. I do think I like it more than A. I'm thinking that this is the Russell's 13. Back to C. Yeah, C was the one that felt more balanced and refined than the rest. I'm wondering if it's due to like extra age. I'm thinking this is maybe the 15, and I'm thinking that I like it the best of the first three. D. If I said that I like this one the least so far of A, B, and C, it's not by much. Yeah, this one just feels like rare breed to me. By process of elimination, I'm thinking that this one is the LLME. I'm gonna put it just ahead of D. C's gonna be the winner, which I'm thinking is the Russell's 15. B is gonna be my runner-up, which I think is the 13. A and E, I'd call those a dead heat. And then D is probably bringing up the tail. So with all that being said and done, Ty, did I get any of these right?
So you didn't get any right.
I didn't get any of them right.
No.
Awesome.
Bruh.
All right, so what did I learn here? Besides that I suck at guessing bottles, I also learned that the 13 can hang with the 15. It's a damn good bottle, and fortunately it is coming back this year. Last thing that I learned is this, is that I think that this whole thing with the Russell's 10 year, the LLME, it might just be a lot of hype. Now, could it possibly be that it's got some of the 15-year-old juice? Sure. But it doesn't hang with the 15 or the 13 because of the proof. I mean, it's 90 proof. It doesn't feel like the same experience at all. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the video. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Stay jerky.